months later.
Yeah.
And that's how she discovered that it was cancer stage 4. So, for you, as a doctor, what are the procedures that, what would you like to ask her concerning how she got from that level to the stage 4 level?
First of all, I'm very interested to know what type of doctor you saw, because there's a lot of disparity that I don't expect in medical personnel.
Okay, what are disparities? So
first of all, when a patient comes to me and complains of a lump, I will not do a biopsy first. I will first do an imaging. So I'll tell you to either do an ultrasound scan if you're less than 40, you're 35, 40. Then if you're above 40, you can do a mammogram before we get to the biopsy. And if you then do a biopsy, depending on what we're suspecting based on your history, you either do a fine needle aspiration cytology or a core biopsy, right? And after that, even if, because what you're describing kind of sort of sounds like you did a fine needle aspiration cytology, right? Even at that, no doctor on the surface of this earth that is qualified would allow a patient to move around with a lump in their breast for 6 months, because you don't know. Even if you do a fine needle aspiration cytology, they can be false negative. There's a very high chance of it being false negative. So you can never tell unless you remove the lump and you do a proper biopsy of the lump.
So what are the inconsistencies in her story?
So I find it very interesting that so I'm interested to know the type of doctor you saw. What type of doctor?
It's an oncologist.
Okay, so now fantastic. So I work in a teaching hospital. We don't send patients to an oncologist unless you have a biopsy, core biopsy result.
Well, she hadn't had
because usually you start with a general surgeon. General surgeon will establish the fact that it is cancerous, and oncologist is not the first person. Based on the fact that you even said, the person said it is not cancerous, no doctor will send you. That's why I'm interested to know the doctor. No doctor will send you to an oncologist with a non-malignant result.
Like I said, you go into the hospital, I noticed a lump on my boobs.
Was it Lagos or Enugu? Because I
was in Enugu.
Okay.
So I went into the hospital, complained.
Was it a teaching hospital?
No, it wasn't a teaching hospital. It was a private hospital.
Okay, and it has an oncologist. That private hospital has an oncologist.
Let me explain.
Okay.
So walking into the hospital, you go to a normal doctor. I don't even know what they're called, but you went to a doctor, he examined, he found the lumps.
Okay.
That was when he said, let's do a biopsy. I don't know what a biopsy is.
Without an imaging?
No.
That's very strange.
No imaging, because...
Is that possible?
It's not possible. It's not possible. Because biopsy is very invasive. Nobody will grab your breast and just do a biopsy without an imaging.
There was no imaging.
Was it the left breast or the right breast?
The left breast.
Okay.
Okay, so they didn't do an imaging, they just said go for a biopsy. It was when I went for the biopsy, it took about
Was it painful?
What was the biopsy process like?
Yes, what was the process like?
Explain it to us.
I think they gave me the little, I don't know if it's anesthesia to like numb the pain a little bit. Then an incision close to the nipple.
And what came out?
That's not the procedure. We don't do an incision.
I don't know what, but something went into my...
Okay, so
my results are
here. Are you
here.
saying that's false? It's not possible to...
No, yeah. It's not sounding like a fine needle. It's not sounding like a core biopsy. It's not sounding like a fine needle. We use a needle. It's a needle.
This one is like how do I put it? I will call it a machine. I don't know the right terms.
No, listen, you're
you people are
mixing things
using.
up. We don't use machine for biopsy as well.
That's
an invasive procedure. We use a needle.
Something went into my boobs. They brought out some. I think they said
what part of your boobs? Was it
exactly
your
what type of your?
Was it?
The lump was found under my boobs. It moves sometimes. Sometimes it looks as if it beeps. So I think around that place. I think they said they bring out. I don't know if there's particle of the lumps or thereabout. That's what they say. Yeah, they took for the biopsy.
A machine.
Sorry, is that
maybe a pin?
No, it's
medically feasible.
No, it's a long needle.
Maybe that's what
has a trigger.
Okay, what's
it's
the
like
size
a mini gun.
What's the size of the needle they used for you? If you're going to estimate it.
How do I?
Was it like 2 inches long, 1 inch long? How was the needle?
I was lying down, so not like you're seeing exactly what is happening. And I'm not in the medical term, so I don't want to say the things.
I'm sorry to say this, right?
Go ahead.
I saw that you studied economics, right? Okay, fantastic. Interesting enough, I dropped econs for further maths because economics was very, very detailed and very, very. So as someone that studied accounts, I would expect you that if you have a life-threatening diagnosis, you should know it in and out, because when I see patients with chronic medical conditions, they know their condition in and out. Like sometimes they even know new researches that I have not even heard of, because they are trying to survive. I find it very strange that you're mixing radiologists, oncologists. I feel like it's something you should know. It is.
No, it's not something I should know, because cancer is not something I am aware about. I've said it over
but
and
you've
over
been
again.
given this. It's been 2 weeks since you came out to talk about this, and you mentioned stage 4. That was the first video I ever saw from you.
Yes, that was
stage 4. How did they come about that stage 4?
I'm not supposed to know, so maybe at this point
It
we are
is your
going
life.
to be. That's what I'm trying to say. At this point, we are going to be asking the medical doctor. So when this whole shenanigans came out on social media, everybody just said, let's get a second and a third
No, but
option.
Okay, so
How
let me
did you
say
know it was
something.
stage 4?
Exactly. How did you know it
How
was
did
stage?
you
Because
get
he
to the
seems
stage 4
quite confident
analysis?
with that stage 4.
Because that was what I was told. I'm not a medical
How
doctor.
is it possible to say you have stage 4?
Maybe
if
it's
they
Was
haven't
it same
done-
that it was that same Enugu doctor?
Yes.
Is it on in your report?
She's willing-
Exactly.
She's
Can
willing
you-
to show the doctor.
I will share.
Yes,
I will share.
I don't.
Okay,
I'm
can you show her?
interested
I
to
would
see.
share.
So this is your stage 4 report. Is it the doctor that told you that it was stage 4?
Yes, the doctor
By the time
said
you went
stage
there the
4.
second time?
Yes.
But what?
Just
can I-
based on seeing you was when he calculated that it was stage 4?
I do not know them. I don't want to say.
What
things
do you
I'm not-
understand? Because if someone tells me something, right, I would go and read up on it, right? So what did you understand by stage 4? Because I'm assuming that you don't want to die, right? So if someone tells you stage 4, it sounds advanced, right? Or you don't know that.
Yeah, that's the reason why I broke out on social media.
Social media
Yeah,
to
but how did it
answer
get
the
to
question
stage 4?
for you. What was social media? What was your goal on social media?
Now, as a medical practitioner, when they tell you have cancer, it's already traumatic alone.
Okay.
I didn't even have the guts to go and start reading. In fact, the major reason I came on social media was I wanted to see people who have experienced the same thing.
Yeah, but the big question is how did you analyze?
Because of course we have a.
Is it the same report as the one that we saw?
Yes, the
last time?
pathologist that signed this result lives in Asaba. And I'm a doctor, of course. I can trace any doctor in Nigeria. And I called him on Tuesday.
Sorry,
and he
before you
knows
talk,
nothing
is that the
about-
same report
Yes,
that
it's
you
the
saw
same
last
result.
week?
It's the same result that is going
Okay,
around
that she said
social
she
media.
didn't post, but it's around.
And this particular pathologist said he knows nothing about this. And he is based in Asaba, not
The
Enugu.
pathologist of the report.
Yes,
there.
of this report is based in Asaba. I know that for an absolute fact.
So he told you
So that's the
after.
first one.
Yes, because yes.
He told you that he has nothing to do with it.
Yes, and he stays in Asaba. The address here is Enugu. He hasn't been to Enugu in recent times. He lives in Asaba,
So
Delta
person, how do you
State.
respond to that?
This
Let's go
pathologist
ahead and,
stays
like
in
I
Because they're
said,
saying that the
Asaba.
pathologist that you put in that report, which you claim
That
is your
signed
real
this
report.
result, but stays in Asaba. That I know for an absolute fact.
Please, I want
on
to ask
Tuesday.
again.
Go ahead.
Is this report the same report that we saw last week?
Yes, it is.
Now, what could be the implication, assuming that our claim is shown later not to be correct? Don't forget, she has just presented a medical report to us. She has obliged us, and you notice I was very interested in having the doctor look at it. The doctor has confirmed that, to the best of our knowledge, substantial facts in that document is not correct. The most relevant being the name of the doctor. A medical report is only a report if it is authenticated by a doctor.
Which the doctor has denied.
Yes, the moment it is like the judgment of a court. If I come before you now and say I got a judgment from a court, the most important element of that document that will show that this is a judgment of a court is to look at the name of the judge who signed or wrote or read the judgment, who delivered the judgment. So where she says she has spoken to the doctor whose name is on the report, the doctor has disclaimed the document, the doctor and the location of the doctor is also being contested. That worries me. Okay. So Blessing will have to offer explanation on the origin of that document. Now, under the law, if a person is found to have obtained money under false pretenses, that itself is a serious matter. It is a crime that can be prosecuted. Those who have made donations, I am not making conclusion here. I'm just giving broad, generic commentaries. Those who have made donations for Blessing on account of a public assertion, on account of a representation in the public that she has been found to have stage 4 cancer, if it is later confirmed that this is not true, they can sue her for deceit, which is a tort. They can sue to recover the money. So I hope that Blessing has spoken to a lawyer to advise her on the gravity of what is at stake. This is not just a matter for social media debates. This is just not just a matter for bloggers to train with. This is not just a matter that is trivial. This is a matter that has serious implications. This is a matter that even the medical doctor whose name has been associated may file an action for defamation.
And also the woman who claims that she's the original.
There are series of implications which I have highlighted. The doctor whose name is associated may have a cause of action, and I am hoping the doctor will actually come forward and begin to address the issue. Okay. The Medical and Dental Council should be interested in knowing how a doctor's name appeared on a document where somebody says I have stage 4 cancer, and that document is now being disputed, so that if she was misled, if somebody gave her that document and say, oh, on the basis of these documents, you can establish this claim, that person should also come forward to explain how he or she came about. If the doctor truly did not issue that document, Blessing has to explain who gave it to her, where the person got it from. So, are we looking at potential forgery here? Are we looking at altering documents, which is a crime? Are we looking at obtaining money by false pretenses? Are we looking at the thought of deceit? These are the legal issues. So, I hope and I pray that Blessing has truly appreciated that this is a serious matter. Okay. I want to say again for the record that as human beings, it is expected we are empathetic. I'm not here, and Blessing, you are not on trial. We are not persecuting you here. We are just seeking clarity because we have gone on public to seek funds. Ruth, I have raised money for Nigerians. If you follow me on social media, I have raised millions and millions and millions of naira for many Nigerians in the last few years. There is no single instance.
Bravo, said. The saga of Blessing CEO and cancer. Keeping up with Blessing CEO and cancer. You see, this story has been brewing for a while. And I said, Chere, wait, let me calm down and see how this thing wants to play out. So Blessing CEO took to the internet to break that she has stage 4. Stage 4 what? We don't know. She barb as kodo, gorimakpa, do everything. Can't cast aspersion or talk, say, na cancer she gets. Next thing, before you say Jack Robinson, Blessing CEO have posted account number that people should support her. Trust Nigerians. As we wicked rich, we like to give. We like to support. Even very dark man say he want to press he want to come down to Lagos and press and confirm if there's something there or not, but he will still give money. Fast forward, they are telling Blessing CEO, post report. Maybe if you say you get cancer, you go post report, no we see. Blessing CEO say, her report, doctor's report is her privacy. Madam, before we talk about the right thing, fast forward, they put her under the freeze live. They ask her, you say you have cancer, what level? She says she doesn't know the level again. This is somebody that say it is level stage 4. She says she don't know. And the story was unfolding and unfolding. Now, Blessing CEO have carried herself to Arise TV, national TV, to talk about this matter. They say who the gods want to kill, they first of all run mad. Because this Blessing CEO cancer is looking like the more you look, the less you see. The thing is doing like one wing is fading off. And a lot of people are questioning, does this girl really have this cancer? You saw her back and forth. How they were just puncturing hole. That doctor is a two-basket doctor. The doctor, they mark and hear. Presenter, they mark and hear. Lawyer, stand there. Let us know what you are saying. Oncologist, dopologist, mammologist, who is the person that tests you? You say now machine that you drag something, Blessing CEO. clean your mouth. You know your rise to fame or make people know you now through claiming what is not. See, everybody get their own niche. This one na Blessing CEO niche. I'm not here to castigate her. She might have it and she's misinformed. Let us wait. But the moment you come to the internet and ask people for money for a medical reason, you owe them that report. You owe them that report. It's no longer if it's your private thing, keep your account number to yourself. But the moment they've contributed money to you, you owe them how to explain to them, this is how I spend the money. I didn't want to make that video very long. They even asked Blessing, so what was your target amount? No target amount. That idea, they will just whisper to him ear. And Blessing say, ting, light bulb, light in her head. Ting, I need money. And she put her account number. You know why she did this thing? If you remember some time ago, the Akuna lady, Izzy Ogbede, was going through her own. She put account number. You know, so they go don't send that money. Let's see you come say, are you thinking what I'm thinking? She come fire. In my whole life, when Blessing CEO is seeing that this thing is not funny again, I've not seen somebody silently praying in her mind that God, please, let the cancer be true.
Jesus! Jesus!
Blessing CEO is wishing for cancer. She's wishing that the cancer is true so that Nigerians will drop her down. They will not, because Nigerians will find you. Nigerians like to drag somebody down. They like, if you fuck up. Nigerians, hey, very dark man is not even ready for you, sef. We don't know how much he sent. When he finished with his B-Lord case, you will refund him. So, Blessing, you might be saying the truth. We don't know. But there's what we call an antecedent. You have an antecedent of lying, of misrepresentation. You have that antecedent. So it's going to be hard for you to come out of this, isn't it? Prepare, oh. Prepare. She has deactivated her Instagram account. She doesn't want to be online again. Because somebody that has stage 4 cancer has mouth to be exchanging words with people. And you not think about your life. You will not sit down in sober reflection and start planning or whatever it is. That is when people are feeling that this thing is dodgy. And that's why I decided to hold back before I say anything about it. Unfortunately, her lover too has deactivated his account. I'm talking about IVD. If the first wife no kill this IVD, if it be this Blessing CEO wey carry put for body because that girl, she needs to be listed in 1,000 ways to die. Because she likes living dangerously on the edge. So Blessing, dey quite sure. Prepare. Let God answer your prayer that the cancer test and everything is. And if it is true that they are misunderstanding you, take my heartfelt sorry and condolence. Because this is what you get when you've been lying before. When you're not telling the truth, people will say it's a lie that you are lying. I didn't want to make this whole video long. I have plenty things to talk about. Both the lawyer, both the doctor, they came and they were doing counter attack. They were playing from the flank, and Blessing was totally bamboozled. Totally. Speaking on Instagram with your phone is different from going to national TV to go and confront facts. Fact. They say the doctor that they put on that report said he's not aware of that thing. That man, I don't need to see. The lawyer has read all the consequences or possible things that can happen. So let us see how this week will be. Let's say this week you will load for Blessing. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Clock it. Clock it. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma. I have either entertained you, I've kept you company, I've made you laugh, or simply informed you. Why haven't you subscribed? This subscription that you are hoarding, you don't want to click it. They don't charge dollar, they don't charge pound sterling, they don't charge naira for it. No, it's free. Simply subscribe. When you subscribe, that's what you can use to appreciate me and let my channel grow. Subscribe and share. That way I can come back here and give you gist.
God have mercy
Until I
upon
come
us.
your way next time with a good gist and a good topic, I remain Mr. Udofort. Thank you very much. Bongwen.